They really try to hold shit in. When something bad happens, everything comes the fuck out, you know?
Yeah. You know what though? Like, I think that yes, this does happen. Like on some "why did I get married" type shit. When that, like you said, when that volcano gets to that point, somebody is erupting and telling all the family business. That's why that ain't your black ass daddy. We don't fuck with your mama. Just a whole bunch of nasty shit. But I think that I know this is gonna sound wild, but I think that Black women, sometimes we are given a pass on, even myself, to freely express yourself and to be a volcano. But Black men, they can't be volcanoes, you know? So as much as I think about my mom and her being a vocal person and being a woman and expressing herself, my dad also comes from the generation of, even if you feel that shit, suck it the fuck up, grab your dick and keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it moving. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I feel bad for Black men in that sense, where, you know, Black women, sometimes when we don't deal with our mental health, we can lash out. But if a Black man lash out, he might fuck around and get gunned down. You know what I'm saying?
So let
Like,
me who consistently does not want to does not value men, for that matter. Good luck staying in a relationship with someone who does not value what you are. You know what I mean? Like, how would you expect someone to treat a dog who does not value pets?
Roll me Mac.
From experience, what are the consequences of men behaving in a beta frame? Loss of respect from not just your woman, but your peers. You will be looked at as the quintessential nice guy, and people will walk all over you. They will not take you seriously because you're trying to make everybody laugh and, take you for a joke. And never in history has a clown ever been respected by anyone. You're just looked at as entertainment, if you will. You will defer to your woman for decisions, number one. You will be unsure about you'll just be insecure. You'll be unsure about yourself. You'll be unsure about the decisions that you make. You'll be constantly turning to her to make choices on things. And it's not to say that women don't have some great ideas, because there's plenty of women that do. However, there are some women, people in general, that will use your gullibleness to manipulate and do things in which they want to do that benefits them. So when you are operating in that frame, which I did, you will be very trustworthy of people that have had knives in your back the entire time, whether you knew it or not. So, I mean, it's a safe space. That's, I'll give you one upside of operating in a beta frame. You have this delusional sense of safety that you're living in. The people around you, you know what I'm saying, like you think they have your best interests, and like it feels safe at the time, you know what I mean? Like when you're caught into what I would say is the matrix of what you believe life is, from what you were taught and programmed from the beginning of your life. But when you were able to see things from another lens, the one that I would say is more of reality, not so much pessimist, but just from a reality lens of things around you. Like you don't have these expectations of people. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't look at them to be perfect. You don't look at them to be kind. Everybody is nice to you. And you don't believe that you don't feel entitled, number one, that people will be nice to you. You just accept life for what it is and realize that most people are in pain. And because like they're in pain, they project that out to you. Ask yourself the next time somebody does some fucked up shit to you, was that person a healthy person, or was that person in pain? And if they're in pain, what would you expect them to, what else would you expect from a person in pain? How does a dog act when it's fucking traumatized as fuck? It'll try to bite the shit out of you because it's in survival mode, right? So when people are in pain, they tend to do what they do, and they will project that toxicity around everybody that's near them, that's in close proximity. So sometimes you have to distance the fuck out of yourself from these people. But when you're in that beta frame, you really are trusting. You're trusting that, like I said, your woman that you're with has got the best interest for you. You almost look to her as if she's your mother, and trusting your mom to not fuck you over. And even your mother can fuck you over. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to protect yourself, not being scared, if you will, but more so prepared and aware. You don't want to live in fear. Living in fear is another trap for the beta. You know what I mean? Because you feel like you're helpless, and you're not helpless. Not in a beta. I mean, you're not helpless as a person. We'll call it that. You know what I'm saying? But for me as a man, like I was waiting for somebody to come and save me. So whatever you gave me, I took it, and I felt resentment when you did hurtful shit to me because I didn't set healthy boundaries. That's a consequence of being in your beta frame. You don't set healthy boundaries with people. You allow people to say whatever the fuck they want to say. You play nice. They can feel that nervous energy around you. I'm sure we all do that. We know people that just laugh for no fucking reason, and ain't nobody said anything funny because they're, I believe one perspective of that is that they're unsure of themselves. And another consequence of being beta, sneaky. You know what I mean? Like sneaky ass behavior because you want to portray yourself as this nice guy. But meanwhile, you like doing fucked up shit in the dark. I lived that life for a very, very long time. But when you just embrace the darkness, you just become Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everything I do is what people want me to do. Not everything I say is what people want me to say. But I do it because I want to. I'm not living up to somebody's expectations of me anymore. Trying to get someone's validation, which is common when you're raised on conditional love. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you have to do shit to be loved. And really just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Honestly, without disrespecting anybody, that is, you know what I mean? And of course, if you're religious or whatever, follow rules in which your religion has given you to live, so that you can go to whatever your preferred destination is. But what I will say is that this life is free, give or take, your skin color and shit like that, depending on where you are. But what I mean by that is opportunities. A man must create his opportunity, and in a beta frame, you sit there and you wait for somebody to come and fucking save you. Nobody's coming. I don't care how many times you let her fuck around on you. No one's coming to save you. She's gonna keep doing the dumb shit that she's been doing. Those people that keep asking you to borrow your truck because they know you'll say yes. As long as you keep saying yes and afraid to say no, they're going to do it. Why would they stop? You know what I mean? If I could go into a grocery store and take candy out without being penalized by the cashier, why would I stop going to get the fucking candy? Set the boundary. You know what I'm saying? It's like setting boundaries with people. And obviously for women watching this, you know, you can somewhat flip this shit. It doesn't necessarily have to be beta for you, but everything with men, in my opinion, my belief, is frame. So when I was operating like fully, like knowingly and unknowingly in my beta frame, I allowed people to take advantage of me. And I mean from family to friends, co-workers, strangers, whatever it was. I just wanted to be the ultimate nice guy. I thought that was my way of getting love. I thought that was how I got respect from people, by doing so many nice things. After a while, when you do so many nice things, now people have an expectation of you. So when you don't do it, now they feel resentful. And it's because you set that standard for people. So I had to learn the difference between being nice and being kind. Like kindness is something that you show when you want to. Niceness is something that you do when you feel guilty if you don't. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that difference for me. So the consequences, you know, of like operating that beta frame, it's the level of respect that you garner with your aura around people. You know what I mean? Like if your woman feels comfortable enough to emasculate you in front of your friends, you know what I mean, or co-workers, whatever, talk to you all kind of crazy inside grocery stores. I'm sure we've been seeing that shit where you walking down the aisle and you see a guy with his family and the wife is operating obviously her masculine, and she's very vocal and like, come on, or whatever. Like, who the fuck you talking to like that? Like, I wouldn't even want, you know what I'm saying? It would be the same thing in reverse if I saw the man talking to the woman that way. It's about respect. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't respect yourself, you can guarantee that other people are not going to respect you as well, unless they just have that within them to show respect because they want to give respect to get respect type thing. But some people is just dog eat dog world. So they're going to just let people, they're going to let people walk all over them. And if you allow them to do so, they will do it. And no one's, we are not kids anymore. No one. And for some of us kids, no one came to save us then. So ain't this concept. Of course, you know, I think an influence on that is kind of like the aspect of like what Christianity influence, on our society. Like, don't you worry about it. God is coming back. And I'm not here to doubt that, and I'm not here to talk about religion. What I'm talking about is an influence of an ideology that somebody's coming to save you instead of you putting in the fucking work because you are more capable of doing so. Yes, we are made in God's image, and God gave you the strength to set boundaries. God gave you the strength to let people not to walk all over you. God gave you the strength to make that, to walk away from that toxic situation, to walk away from that woman who does not respect you, who consistently disrespects you in front of your friends and family, who consistently does not want to, does not value men for that matter. Good luck staying in a relationship with someone who does not value what you are. You know what I mean? Like, how would you expect someone to treat a dog who does not value pets? Just take time to think about the shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't value what a dog is, how a dog operates, why would you treat that dog kindly? You wouldn't. So again, if you are dating a woman that does not value men, and you stay there waiting to be valued, good luck.
Hey, what up, everybody? Yeah, do me a favor real quick. Just hit like, subscribe, and of course comment if you have anything, obviously to mention about.
How can men improve communication skills while still being masculine to women? Listening. listening, and recognizing that listening is a one-sided affair. And it is a very, effective listening and healthy listening is one of the most challenging fucking things that we can ever do, because it requires you to shut the fuck up and not defend your ego when someone says something that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. It really, really takes time. But I would say that you can improve your communication, one, by listening. And then I would say next, being able to know what you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? To express it, not in a soft, emotional, sensitive ass way, but more so like, I feel that I'm going to miss you. You know what I mean? I feel that I love you, period. You know what I'm saying? Genuine, authentically, however you want to place it. Like, when I'm away from you, there are emotions that arise in me that I did not realize that I had before. Being honest, just being honest about your shit. You know what I'm saying? And just telling to somewhat, don't get me wrong, because there's some women that you still acting like a bitch type shit. But the ability to just essentially be honest, but short and concise though. Short, concise, and impactful when you share these emotions with this woman. I believe that's probably the best method to do so. At least, like I said, at least for me, I've learned how to, therapy's taught me that if I get it out, I'll feel a hell of a lot better than me trying to suppress it and keep it in my mind. So if I feel comfortable enough to share said emotions, like if I feel like you value that, like, because there's some people that are just a brick fucking wall and they reject love. And those people I tend to back away from, you know what I'm saying? Once I recognize that you are like literally rejecting love, I am not about to beat the dead horse. Not at all. And because you're not able to make somebody love you. No matter how hard you love them, you won't ever make them love you. It is a choice that they have to make. So in improving communication, I can write. I can write pretty well. I would say I'm fairly vocal, and I have an extensive vocabulary that will allow me to kind of share things in a masculine way to a woman, especially how I feel about them. And I tend to speak my mind. So when I say something, I mean it. And like I said, I just go forth with it. Even for like the respect and love that I have for my brothers and my tribe, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I speak on them, I speak on their efforts and that they make as men, and almost like shine this light and a reminder of how valued that you are. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So reminding people, and in this case women, how much you value them and what you value them. Not just saying shit just to say shit. I don't want to say things because it sounds good. When I tell you something, believe that shit's coming from my soul. You know, I'm speaking from the soul. I don't know any other way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So when I do speak, I would say I'm very genuine about it. And because of, I don't know, maybe just experience, maybe sometimes wanting to say some shit that I wish was said to me and coming up, I'm able to use that ability to communicate in a way that allows me to connect, you know what I'm saying, to the people that I love, value, cherish, what have you. Synonyms. They're all synonyms. But I would say for a man, and just trying to connect with this woman, you can start with writing, and writing it in the best method. It doesn't have to be how she wants it, but more so how you wish to express it. I think that's what's more important. I think it's more important to me that you express what you feel, not so much in like a way that I had in my mind. I share what's on your fucking head. Share what's on your fucking mind to, you know what I'm saying, like to her. And but at the same time, be very mindful of how much you do. You don't want to give but so much. Understand moderation, because if you put too much salad dressing on a salad, it's no longer healthy. You got to be sporadic about it. You know, tactful. That's why I say short, concise, and impactful words go a long way. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, I say a lot of masculine men don't really talk that much, but when they speak, they move mountains. And I do my best to try to tap that into my own life, is to be able to, when I speak, say something that someone they're gonna feel better from however they felt before the conversation with me. You know, everything is calculated, you know, as far as like what is being said, and being able to process thoughts. I mean, it's easy for me to say, yeah, go to therapy, you'll learn how to communicate better. Yeah, that is one way. I've learned a lot from like watching YouTube videos on communication as well, as far as like how to express yourself, and especially like that as a man, because it's not socially acceptable for us to talk about our feelings and express things. But I mean, I'm a rebel, so I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say when I want to say it, and in a way that I deem you're going to feel it when I do say it. But as I would say, just as men trying to communicate better in a masculine frame to women, really just listening, man. Listening will give you a lot of material to take in, study, and then regurgitate and teach you how to love the people around you. But in this case, your woman, the woman that you're seeing, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like having that knack to pay attention and keywords. Now, you might not remember everything. Not everybody has a photographic memory. However, key terms, keywords, and understanding how impactful they meant when they said those words is something that will stick out, I believe. So like being able to express one's affection for a woman, it probably was challenging at first, but now because I work on expressing myself, maybe from like doing these shows like weekly or whenever I'm able to do it, I don't have much of an issue like as far as saying things. And at first I was a little bit I was concerned about how it would sound. I was concerned that if I said something that maybe people didn't really like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then I decided that I didn't give a fuck. And I just said what was on my mind. And I think the same thing can be said for like a man with a woman. But remember, you're speaking to a woman. When you're speaking to a woman that's in her feminine, you talk to a woman like you're talking to a feminine woman. Now, for the women that like to act like bras, even then, I don't feel comfortable talking to a woman that talks like a nigga. I really don't, honestly. I like, as far as like for me to talk to them like they're one of the boys, I don't view you as that. I view you as a feminine woman that you are, regardless of whatever facade you got going on. You know what I'm saying? But especially like if it's of interest. I mean, like if it's one of the homies or whatever, fine, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? But like if a girl of interest, I'm not able to talk to you as if you like my like my ace coon boom type shit. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit, man. There's frame. There's the masculine, there's the feminine, and there you in the middle we meet, and there's attraction, and what I see it. But communication for men, like I said, number one is listening, and then as far as being able to express that, just learn you. Number one, learn how the best way you are at expressing yourself, and then just share that, man. Like don't you gotta love unconditionally. You gotta say things that you actually mean. Express it in a way that it's coming from you and not from something else. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe people, especially women in this case, they want to know how you actually feel about them. And so, I would recommend that. But don't say anything you don't fucking mean. Don't do anything you don't want to fucking do. Love unconditionally. That's probably the best advice I can give for that. Known turnoffs with women. Let's see. Masculinity. Women that operate in the masculine frame majority of the time. Narcissists. Let's see. Women who don't take pride in appearance. Like, from an extreme level, like Precious Mama in the movie Precious type shit. Another turnoff is when, I'll speak from this time, and this would be considered a beta tale, right? So I'm laying there, we're both laying there, or whatever, and I just so happened to, this is before I had a CPAP, and I'm knocked out or whatever. So then I wake up, I think my snoring woke myself up, and then I see her. Obviously she was on her phone, but then she recognizes I'm up, and then she plays like she's sleeping. You know what I mean? Sneaky shit. That's a known turn off in a woman. Like, trust, you can forget about it. You know what I mean? Sneaking away, like thinking that you sleep, but sneaking away to the bathroom to like use the phone and shit. You know what I mean? Like, sneaky shit. You know what I mean? It's nothing to assume that it's doing that. It could be something foul, but it just doesn't. It doesn't give it's not a good look. That's for sure. It would be the same in return if I did the same thing. Let's see. Tries to compete. Tries to compete with you, constantly trying to one up on you. You know what I mean? Like in conversation, like to prove that they're, I don't know, validated by whatever in conversation. You know what I'm saying? Just has to one up you. Has to say that, have to get the last word. Like it's a must that you get the last word. It's like pure ego. Horrible with finances. Because eventually that problem will become your problem. Tears down people. You know what I mean? Like when you go out to eat and stuff like that, and you just recognize how they talk to people that can do nothing for them. You know what I mean? It says a lot about a person's character, how they talk about, just like I said, essentially just tear down people. Negative energy, just being negative, like I said, being negative Nancy. You know what I mean? Like a woman that just operates and just, she gets off on just being negative. Like, nobody want to be around that shit. Nobody want to hear that negative talk, you know what I mean? Victimhood, plays victim all the time. Definitely plays victim, and everything's about her. You know what I mean? Everything that happens in life, it's either about her or it's happening to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, just constantly playing victim, woe is me attitude type thing. I want to say just that really, like I said, operating, all of that essentially is operating like a masculine. Only cares about, she doesn't value men. That's a big turnoff, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like a woman that does not value men and she only looks at men as an accessory to her life. Yeah, you can spot that a mile away and just back the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't care about the things that you're into. She doesn't value what you desire. She doesn't value the things that, you know what I'm saying, that you like. It only what she likes matters. You know, she's getting off on her beauty, and she just wants you to be a compliment to it, and will try to replace you at any moment's notice. And another turn off is emasculating me in front of somebody that's of value to me. or tries to take the lead more often than not. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Women have, like I said, women have brilliant ideas on things, but when they constantly don't trust you to lead, out, gone. There's no point for a woman to be with a man if she doesn't trust him to lead. You don't need to raise me. I don't need a mom. You know what I'm saying? No sense of raising a son. But I mean, I would say those are probably some of my known turnoffs when it comes to women. I can think of like shit like that. What have you learned from engagements with women in conversation? I've learned, honestly, throughout my life, and especially in the last 6 years, we're having a different lens with like the mental health and like spiritual aspect added to it. I realized that you have some women that really don't realize how valuable they are. You have some women who think they're too valuable. They're overly confident about themselves. I believe it's okay to be confident, but when you're so overly confident that the world revolves around you, I believe that's a recipe for disaster. Because when you carry yourself in a manner in which you are better than someone else, you're not gonna like what you attract. In the long scheme of things, either you're going to end up with somebody that you can walk over, number one, or you're going to end up with somebody who's going to just blatantly disrespect the fuck out of you because of your, I would say, that overly confident behavior. You know what I'm saying? The princess shit. There's no, I don't look at things from right and wrong, but from my perspective, I don't see any issue with a woman that wants to be valued, but she must value herself and not try to extract that value from like another person, if you will, like essentially putting their happiness in that person's hand. And you don't have to do so. None of us do, from men and women. No one is responsible for your happiness but you. We all just complement each other. Our lives and shit like that, especially for men of purpose. For a woman she is either going to complicate or complement your life. So understanding what the purpose is and that you don't come before the purpose. Now, princess and those overly confident women are like, oh no, it's all about me. It's me. Narcissism, you know what I'm saying? The narcissist, everything revolves around her. She's the fucking sun, and everybody else in the family, kids, the dog, the husband or wife, whatever your vice is, and you guys are all the planets surrounding me, the solar system. And when you believe that anytime you believe you're more than human, you fuck up. When you believe that you're better than others, you might be better off, but you're not better than. You're no more human than I am. You know what I mean? The difference might be just effort and focus. You focused on this one thing, you put effort into this one thing, so you appear better off at this thing than me currently because I didn't put focus and effort into it. But you are not better than me, and I am not better than you. You know what I'm saying? It's like recognizing how human that we are. And from engaging in conversations with women, I've learned that. I've seen some of the most beautiful women think that they're not as beautiful as others. And their personalities is really where it radiates in their beauty. And I've seen some badass motherfuckers with some badass personalities. You know what I'm saying? You're just ugly. You're ugly on the inside because you really believe that you're better than others, man. And you learn so much just from listening. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for the the conversations with various women, ones with high IQs, ones with higher IQs than they actually believe they have, some with low IQ, but there's no judgment with that. It's more so what you grew up around and exposure to knowledge. You can only go as far as what is around you at first, from a default standpoint. But when you make a conscious effort to kind of like look for more knowledge, you'll grow. Your brain will not be able to return back to what it was before you learned this particular thing. And so I've learned how some women feel about men. They definitely loathe the fact that there's the lack of masculinity in the world, but at the same time, there's women that they say they want masculinity, and then when they get it, they want to run shit. Commonly women that operate in their masculine, but it's insightful. It's very insightful, like being around them and seeing how much love that they give. Even the hardest ones, the ones that got that hard ass personality, they got the resting bitch face or whatever, and deep inside, they are a little girl. They're just a little girl who was traumatized at some point in time and becoming very untrusting of this world, and especially men, because naturally we're bigger, and there's a level of dominance that we have, whether we use it or not, that we have over women as far as strength goes. And so when you've been mistreated by men, it causes some women to really revolt back to their shell, if you will. And I've seen that. I've seen that multiple times in multiple ways. I've been a reason why a woman has been traumatized. I've also been traumatized by women, and I've witnessed them just try to heal. And when I was trying to prove myself, when I was trying to be validated by everything, I said a lot of shit, and I didn't realize how human that we both are, both me and her. And as I got older, I was able to see things from her perspective, see things from a healthier perspective of my own, of why that thing happened, why I let that happen, why she allowed that to happen. And it teaches you to be one, humble, two, human, and see things from another perspective outside of yours. So like engaging with women, like seeing how much creativity that they have. Say with my kid, you know what I mean? Lately, my kid's been like sharing drawings. I didn't realize that my kid could draw the way that she draws. Like just the creativity, not just a pretty face. Yeah, she's pretty. And but not just a pretty face, just so much creativity, so many things that one can offer. You don't realize these things unless you try it. And seeing like I said, being around various women, be it in the family, be it strangers and whatnot, just listening to them and having so much to offer in conversation. Once they feel comfortable enough to share their story, you realize how similar we all are. Not just just like women with women, but men and women. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, and once we're all just kids. You know what I'm saying? We wanted three things: seen, heard, and loved. And somehow or another, depending on how we were raised, we got away from shit. We try to cover up shit with things in the world to try to, present this ego. Our ego is what defended us for a very long time. But when you have conversations with people, you can see that inner child in their eyes when they, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So to have that conversation with these women and being able to see them, I've never, we're all like 30s, maybe in their 20s, maybe sometimes at work and having conversations, but being able to see them as that little scared child and that person that we had to create in order to survive. Like we became, you know, a lot of us were raised in survival, and we created this persona, this ego that protected us from the pressures of the world. You know what I'm saying? It was a protection thing. And naturally, that's what we're going to do at the end of the day. We're going to do something that's going to protect us from anything or anyone that may try to harm us. But to see them and being able to break down some walls, maybe not all walls, but some walls enough to share a side of them, a vulnerable side of them that shows you how they became who they became right there before you, and the strength that it took. And that's what I really, I think that's the biggest thing for me, is the strength of these women, you know, that I would engage in conversations with, to endure the things that they've done and still go on and, you know, like, still do kind things for people, to go on and still look out for their kids, try to give their kids everything that they didn't have, to work multiple jobs just to make sure that, you know, the family got what they need, or they invest in themselves and build businesses and then go travel the world and shit like that. And they did that. They didn't allow that trauma to keep them from excelling in life, man. And you know, much respect to women who fit that bill, you know what I'm saying, for that. I can't say enough, man. I mean, even for my mother, you know what I mean? Like the things that she endured that I know about, you know what I mean? Like for her to give us all that she had, you know, it wasn't always the nicest at times, but the things, the efforts, the lengths that she would go. I was a big wrestling fan and a video game fan when I was a kid, and I bothered, or as we say in Virginia, I would worry the fuck out of, I was worse than shit. That's what we say in my family, you know what I'm saying? When you worse than shit. And like I would bother the fuck out of my mother to get WCW Nitro for PlayStation. So when I tell you that I bugged her for like months, maybe 2 to 3 months, this woman worked 12-hour shifts or 10-hour shifts. I forget what the fuck mom worked. I know she was gone for like most of the fucking day. Like she left before I went to work, and she got home after I got home from school. You know what I'm saying? But she would come home, man, with WCW Nitro, and then put my ass on punishment for fucking having bad grades. But it's, you know, the efforts that a parent will go, whether that's getting, you know what I'm saying, Panda Express, whether that's getting Coke and Takis, whatever, you know what I'm saying, like your folks are into, whether it's allowing them to drive a car, whether it's letting them go to like their friend's house for sleepovers, like the efforts that I get, you know what I'm saying, like I said, that strength of a woman. I'm not able to thank them enough, you know what I mean? Said a lot, jumped around a lot, par for course, business as usual, but all in all, I'm grateful for those conversations with those women. Thank you to women. Much appreciation to you, respect to you. And yeah, that's it. Good night, kids.